Hey everyone, I just wanted to come to you with a brief chat about thesis statements. And thesis statements are very important because they are the roadmap for your entire essay. So you should think of a thesis statement like the opening argument in court, and you're trying to convince the jury or your audience that your version of events or version of the case has merit and that they should believe you. But the opening argument is your first opportunity to establish a relationship with your jury, with your audience. It is your first opportunity to suggest to them that your argument has merit, that your argument might be interesting to them. So when they read your thesis statement, they know whether or not they want to read further, or if this is not the essay for them. So a lot rides on your thesis statement. Once you have a really good thesis statement, honestly, the rest of the paper kind of writes itself if your thesis statement is strong enough. Okay, so an effective thesis statement cannot be answered with simple yes or no. It would be a statement that you could have a real conversation with someone about. It's not a topic, it's not a fact, and it's not an opinion. So, for example, reasons for the fall of communism in Eastern Europe is a topic. Communism fell in Eastern Europe is a fact, and communism, the fall of communism is the best thing that ever happened to Europe, is an opinion. So what a thesis statement and what an argumentative essay is asking you to do is to go past your opinion to something that is a little bit more researched, rational, thorough, and backed up by evidence. An opinion is just like a gut feeling, and that is a good place to start with the position that you want to take on your topic. But when you're in academic writing, it needs to be more than just I think, I feel, or I believe. In fact, you should not write I think, I feel, or I believe in this essay, or to me, or in my opinion, because you're not going to be offering an opinion. You're going to be offering an argument, which comes from evidence. So a good thesis statement has two parts. It should tell you what you plan to argue, and it might telegraph to the audience what you're going to kind of include in the rest of the essay, just kind of a broad brush or general statement about what we can expect to find in the body of this essay. So in some of the other videos, or one of the other videos, there's an example of this kind of like the blueprint type of thesis statement that gives you, and I think it's also mentioned in your quiz, where it gives you like the three parts or the three sections that are going to substantiate or develop this essay. So you can do that in a thesis statement. I don't personally do that in my thesis statements. I kind of leave that up to the rest of the essay, and kind of making it more like a surprise, or well, you have to tune in to find out how I'm going to prove it. But I want to write a thesis statement that is just juicy enough to get people to keep reading. But that's my personal writing style. If it would help you to write a blueprint style thesis statement, then by all means do that. So that means that you give the 3 to 4 reasons right in the thesis statement that you are taking the position that you're taking and making the argument that you're making. So the first thing to do is to ask kind of a research question. So as I mentioned to you before, and we worked on it before in class, the podcast serial. From that, I have pulled out the idea of intimate partner violence, and specifically teenage intimate partner violence. Okay, so the question is, or the questions can be, why does teenage intimate partner violence happen? Who does it happen to? What constitutes an unhealthy relationship or dating relationship between teenagers? Who is most likely? Is there a socioeconomic component that can help us explain why intimate partner violence occurs? Those are the kind of questions. Just do a who, what, where, when, why, and how in front of your topic, and then see what answers you might be able to come up with, or if any of those questions are interesting and something that you might want to pursue further. Okay, so that's the first thing. So you take your question first, then you change it into a statement. So instead of who is most afflicted by intimate partner violence, I will find the answer. So women or teenage females are more likely to be the victims of intimate partner violence, that kind of thing. So and then you can keep going from there to kind of keep tuning it, refining it, tuning it, refining it, adding more information as you read your sources to kind of refine that. And again, going into the chart that I have posted on our Canvas page about transferring it from the question to the thesis statement using kind of like a formula, at least to get you started. Okay, so although people think that this group is more likely to suffer from intimate partner violence, in actuality, it's this other group or something like that. And the reason people make this this mistake or have this misconception is because of this reason, and this reason, right? And then you would write about that in the rest of the essay. Another example, I know one or two of you might have been writing about the Birthing Hour podcast. So it's like maybe the medical community has started encouraging women to have a VBAC delivery after a cesarean section, and most people believe that that is a healthier way to bring children into the world. However, new studies suggest that VBACs are dangerous because of this reason, and this reason. So then in that case, you would be arguing against a VBAC. Another example is like maybe nursing, public nursing. Like, although people suggest that nursing your baby in public is not a problem, women who actually did it found this impediment, and this impediment, that kind of thing. Okay. So once you have kind of a working thesis statement, you start to fine tune it. You keep fine tuning it even after you've moved on to